How likely is it the stock market really always recoups and goes on an upward trend by 5-10 years? I just lost $15,000 in profits from just this past month alone. And if the market drops any further, I am going to see real losses in my portfolio. People keep giving the advice to hold on to the long-term outlook and the market will eventually go back up. But seriously, how likely is this? Aren't there periods throughout history where the market has remained stagnant for as long as nearly a decade? And is it possible for the stock market to never ever recoup and go back up ever again? Yeah guys, market is going down, so we should all cash out and buy back in lower. Timing the market is the best way, clown face. Stop watching the news. All the doomer stuff is getting to you. People keep giving the advice to hold on to the long-term outlook and the market will eventually go back up. But seriously, how likely is this? My brother, please click on the 10-30 years charts. Take the emotion out of it and keep buying. Two adages come to mind. When in doubt, zoom out. Time in market is better than timing the market. Business cycles are normal and healthy. We might have a bad year as we work through a recession, if it happens, but the underlying U.S. economy is strong, and emerging markets, other than China, are doing okay. We'll be okay. When you start seeing posts like this one, it's time to load up on more shares. 0% chance. Nothing lasts forever. The important question is, how likely is it to keep going up while I'm alive? As an aside, you fuckers keep making me check my account with your posts. I'm down $100,000 and I didn't know until I read your comment and decided to check. Not losing a tiny ounce of sleep over it. Get RDY. Storm coming. Typical business cycle. Yes, it's possible for the market to not go up for a few years. You do realize you're asking questions about how the future will unfold, right? If you're curious about stock market performance, just look up a long-dated chart. Historically, it's always gone up. Study it to see how equities perform during high inflation, recession, business booms, etc., etc. Newbody KNNNNNOOOOWWWSSSS. Aren't there periods throughout history where the market has remained stagnant for as long as nearly a decade? This is irrelevant for the future. I just lost $15,000 in profits from just this past month alone. This is a gambling mindset. I lost $15K today. It will be okay with time. When people say the stock market, they really mean the S&P 500. The reason why it goes up 10 every year is they kick underperforming stocks off of the index and replace them with new ones that are up and coming in 9 years. 150 stocks have been replaced, or about 1/3 of the index. This is why they say to own the SPY, which will hold stocks in a weighted value when the SP drops a company. So does the SPY when Apple becomes 30 of its holdings. It sells some and rebalances to the same equal weight of the index, etc. X200B. Oh, and if you think 15K is bad, I am down about 500K in bonds, so yay. Perspective. The fact of the matter is this: if you don't have the guts or time horizon to ride through the lows, you are investing in too risky a portfolio for yourself. Do what you feel is right for you. But day-to-day reactionary behavior doesn't fit with a long-term position. It'll cause stress, anxiety, and likely losses. Sounds like you lost $15,000 in unrealized gains. You don't profit till you sell. If you haven't sold anything while the market is down, you haven't lost a penny. Thumbs up. And if you bought, congratulations. Google 10 off today. Scooped up some shares. Will continue to buy if they get lower. If they get back to 100 or lower, I'm loading the boat. If you can stomach it. Buying through times like these can be highly risky but rewarding. Most people don't have the stomach to be able to check their portfolio every day or even every week. There is just far too much cumulative fatigue when there are weeks of red. And even if one can justify the initial slide, fear compounds and suddenly you're kept up at night. Some of this is due to experience. I remember throwing money into a sea of red in '09 and how discouraging that felt. These days, the red is far less discouraging, but that worry can no doubt still manifest. A thought that stays with me: the whole long-term stock thing is great. And I agree, so far we're 100 years into an empire's stock market experiment, but the rate of growth the last 10 years with loose monetary policy is way too much of the lifetime growth of the stock market. It's not natural. The last decade the SP has roughly 4x due to loose monetary policy. Who in government has the nuts to correct that? I think rates should be 7 all the time. Slower, more sustainable growth. Try and ensure a few more generations of this country can thrive. No offense, buddy, but it sounds like you aren't adhering to your risk tolerance and investment period. This is the wrong product for a short-term investment period and low risk tolerance. Market returns aren't guaranteed and the unrealized drawdown of the large cap equity index is 55. If you cannot sustain that drawdown, your allocations are wrong. It took 10 years for the market to break even after the dot-com bubble. Can you sustain that loss? If not, reallocate your portfolio. Like every time, bro. It can be much longer than 5-10 years. 1929 to 1954 comes to mind. Or the late 60s to early 80s. I think we need people to start giving up on the stock market before the next bull market can come. Everyone, including myself, is conditioned to that the stock market always goes up. The market will, yes. Like 100 of the time. Individual stocks? Nope. The stock market always recoups. The market, as in the SP. Your shitty individual stocks might not. And will probably underperform. Zoom out on the long-term 100-year chart and you'll get your answer. You lost 15K in profits? So you sold, made money. Then you left 15K on the table at Wendy's? Or did the value of your holdings decreased by 15K? There is a huge difference. If this was Wall Street bets, you'd panic sell right about now. That is how you lose money. First time? You only lose if you sell. If you didn't check 10 years from today, it would make such significant gains that you'd be in shock. Lost as in you sold, or lost as in the magic number is less than it was before. I've had days when my account dropped 6 figures. And it has come back. What I did is I stopped looking at it. Everything is automated and I don't even log into my accounts anymore. Just leave your investments alone. Minus automated adding. And is it possible for the stock market to never ever recoup and go back up ever again? Bro, you should unsub and find a new hobby. In going to tell you something different, don't buy and hold. Either build a hedged portfolio or time it on the 200 DMA. You don't have to accept 50 drawdowns. It's unlikely. We print money and have inflation. Because of that, in the long run you will be Gucci. Example: I was in NVDA and thought buy and hold is safe, but I was in margin and NVDA dropped to $100. And then it turned around and hit 500. But it isn't as simple as that. You need to take profit when there is a hype run and also sell losers when you made a bad decision. That's why drip is turned on for my holdings and I don't invest anything in the stock market that I'll need short term. Best advice is choose a broad index fund, then set it and forget it.